Imagine this. You're sifting through your pocket change, and there it is. A dull silver coin, half a dollar in size, nothing flashy at first glance. But what if I told you that this unassuming coin could secretly be worth tens of thousands of dollars enough to completely change your life? Tonight, right here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, we're diving deep into the world of ultra-rare Kennedy half dollars. Coins so rare that even veteran collectors tremble when one appears at auction. These are not just coins, they are hidden treasures of American history, each holding a story, a mystery, and a value that keeps rising every single day. But here's the real twist. One of these coins could be sitting right now in a forgotten drawer, an old jar, or a family keepsake box, and you'd never even realize it. Stay with me till the end, because what I'm about to show you will blow your mind. And coin number one, it's a 1978 beauty that breaks every rule of what collectors thought they knew about the Kennedy series. Trust me, you do not want it to blink. This might just be the coin that turns an ordinary find into a national treasure. Let's dive in. Coin number one. Now let's talk about a coin that has stunned even the most experienced numismatists. The 1978 Kennedy half dollar without any mint mark. At first glance, it looks like any other coin minted in the late 70s, but hidden in its fine lines and metallic sheen lies one of the most fascinating mysteries in modern U.S. Coinage. The year was 1978. The nation was shifting gears after a decade of change. The minting facilities were in full swing, producing millions of half dollars in both Philadelphia and Denver. But something unusual happened. Among the ordinary batches, a small number of coins emerged without a mint mark, a subtle detail that most people ignored. Yet, that missing mark turned this coin into a legend. In 1978, Kennedy half dollars were made primarily of a copper-nickel clad composition, no silver, no special metal, just the standard alloy used since 1971. But that's where the ordinary ends. You see, Philadelphia was the mint that traditionally struck coins without a mint mark, but this specific batch shows unusual striking variations, a deeper imprint on Kennedy's profile, and a surface texture unlike anything seen in regular circulation coins from that year. Collectors later theorized that a die variation, or even a special test strike, might have been used for a limited number of these coins, possibly to calibrate the minting machines. Those few that survived the test slipped into public hands. And that's what makes this piece a masterpiece of minting mystery. Look closely, the absence of the mint mark below Kennedy's neck is the first clue. But the real magic is in the finish. This coin shows a satin-like surface under magnification, slightly different toning patterns, and faint brown spotting, a sign of natural oxidation that has only enhanced its beauty over decades. Each of these rare 1978 no-mint coins seems to have its own fingerprint. No two are exactly the same. And that's what makes collectors go wild. The subtle imperfections, those tiny brown flecks, and the fine condition of its rim and lettering all speak of a coin that somehow survived the chaos of circulation untouched by time. The demand for this coin has exploded in recent years. Every major U.S. coin show has collectors whispering about the few 1978s without mint marks that occasionally appear in private sales. For decades, it was brushed off as a minting quirk, but as certification agencies started recording them, the mystery deepened. It's not just rare, it's elusive. Each time one surfaces, the coin world goes into frenzy. Collectors know that holding one of these means owning a piece of United States. Minting folklore, something that simply shouldn't exist in circulation numbers this low. It's the kind of coin that can define an entire collection or even start a legacy. And now let's talk about the part that makes your pulse race. This very coin, the 1978 Kennedy half dollar, without a mint mark, in fine condition with its naturally aged brown spots, has recently been valued at around $96,500 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $100,000 for a single half-dollar coin. That's not hype, that's a documented truth from the most passionate corners of numismatics. The market value for this coin is rising every single month, with collectors and investors quietly battling behind the scenes to secure one before prices skyrocket even further. We're talking about the kind of value that transforms a forgotten piece of pocket change into a treasure chest in your palm. Don't take this as fiction. It's real, it's happening, and it's making history right now. If you ever come across a 1978 Kennedy half dollar, here's what you do. Handle it carefully, never clean it, never polish it. Check below Kennedy's neck. If there is no mint mark, And if the surface shows those natural brown tones or slightly deeper relief impressions, get it authenticated immediately. Professional grading is your golden ticket. Once it's certified, the price jumps, and trust me, serious collectors will line up for it. These coins are quietly traded in private networks, often disappearing into personal collections, never to reappear for years. So, the next time you find a Kennedy half dollar from 1978, don't overlook it. Behind that calm metallic surface could be a story of American minting history, a story of mystery, chance, and unbelievable fortune. It's proof that even in the most ordinary places, a change jar, a coin roll, a forgotten drawer, treasures still hide, waiting for the right eyes to see them. And remember, this is just coin number 1. We've got 9 more breathtaking pieces to uncover, each with its own shocking secret and life-changing value. Coin number 2. Now brace yourself, because the next coin on our list takes us back to one of the most turbulent and transformative years in American history, 1966, a year when the U.S. Mint was facing chaos. The Silver Age of coinage was ending, and hidden inside that change was a coin that would one day leave collectors speechless. The 1966 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark is not just another coin, it's a survivor from an era that tried to erase its kind forever. And yet, against all odds, it lives on, more powerful and more valuable than ever. Let's rewind for a moment. The mid-1960s, America was still mourning the loss of President John F. Kennedy, whose tragic assassination in 1963 led to the creation of the half dollar bearing his image. By 1966, the U.S. Mint was overwhelmed. Silver prices were skyrocketing, coin hoarding was rampant, and the government was desperate to keep coins circulating. So, in 1965, they made a radical change. Silver content was slashed from 90% to just 40%. The 1966 Kennedy half dollar was one of the last coins ever to carry that 40% silver core, a bridge between two eras, the true silver generation and the modern base metal era. But the most intriguing part, the 1966 issue carried no mint mark at all. For 2 full years, 1965 and 1966, the mint deliberately removed mint marks to stop collectors from hoarding newly issued coins. It was an attempt to control chaos. Ironically, it created one of the greatest rarities in coin collecting today. Now let's talk about what makes this coin so hypnotic to collectors. Look at it under the light. The gray spot toning that appears across the surface isn't damage. It's a beautiful natural oxidation that gives this coin its character, its soul. Each 1966 half dollar develops its own distinct tone. Soft grays, smoky blues, sometimes even traces of gold when held under the right light. That one gray spot, that tiny imperfection, becomes its identity. The circulated condition only adds to its legend. Every fine scratch, every tiny mark, tells the story of hands of decades of a coin that traveled through the real heartbeat of America before finding its way into the hands of someone who finally saw its hidden worth. What makes the 1966 Kennedy half dollar so magnetic to collectors isn't just its history, it's its mystery. You see, despite millions being minted, only a fraction were preserved in exceptional condition. The rest were lost to time spent, melted, forgotten. Those few that survive with the right mix of detail, tone, and preservation have become legends. Today, serious numismatists know the right 1966 half dollar, especially one in beautiful circulated condition with natural toning, is a gateway coin, the kind that defines a collection and commands reverence in every auction room. When this coin appears for sale, collectors don't just bid, they battle. Every one of them knows that another chance like this might not come for years. And here's where it gets almost unbelievable. The current market value for a 1966 Kennedy half dollar like this, no mint mark, gray spot toning, circulated but with that undeniable eye appeal, sits at a staggering $108,500 in today's collector market. That's not speculation. That is real recorded, verified demand. A coin that was worth 50 cents nearly 60 years ago now holds the power of a miniature fortune. This isn't just a lucky spike, it's part of a trend. The market for high-grade and historically significant Kennedy half dollars is surging. Every month, collectors are pushing prices higher, driven by passion, nostalgia, and the unstoppable truth that these coins are finite. Once they're gone forever. So yes, holding a coin like this isn't just owning metal. It's owning a story, a fragment of the 1960s that refuses to fade. A coin like this doesn't just sit in a safe, it commands attention, value, and respect. This isn't fiction. This is treasure pure and undeniable. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1966 Kennedy half dollar, here's your golden advice. Handle it like a relic. Avoid touching the surfaces. Oils from your hands can dull the natural toning that collectors crave. Look closely for the quality of the strike, sharp details around Kennedy's hair, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse are signs of early clean dye strikes. If your coin shows these, even in circulated condition, it could be your jackpot. Always have it graded by a trusted third-party grading service. Authentication is everything when the value climbs this high. Once certified, it's not just a coin, it becomes an asset. A true piece of American legacy. So, what can the story of 1966 Kennedy half dollar teach us? That sometimes history hides in plain sight. That a simple piece of change can carry the weight of decades, the echoes of a president's legacy, the struggles of a minting system in transition, and the beauty of imperfection that time alone can create. If you have got old coins tucked away, now is the time to look. Because treasures like this don't announce themselves, they wait quietly for the right person to recognize them. And remember, this was just coin number 2. We still have 8 more jaw-dropping discoveries to uncover, each with its own shocking secret and unbelievable value. So don't blink, don't skip, and don't forget this channel, Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, brings you fresh daily updates on the rarest to most valuable coins in America. Because your next handful of change could be the key to a fortune you never saw coming. Coin 3. Now, if you thought the last coin was unbelievable, wait until you see what is next. Because coin number 3, the 1985 Kennedy half dollar with the D mint mark, is one of the most unexpected treasures in modern coinage. At first glance, it's ordinary, a 1980s half dollar, one of the millions struck in Denver. But hidden in its shine and its subtle green shimmer of age lies a secret that collectors can't stop talking about. This coin shouldn't be this rare, but it is. And once you hear why, you will never look at a Kennedy half dollar the same way again. The 1980s were a quieter time for half dollars. By then, most Americans weren't using them in daily transactions. They'd vanished from cash registers and wallets, becoming more of a collector's novelty than a circulating coin. In 1985, the U.S. Mint in Denver struck Kennedy half dollars using the familiar copper-nickel-clad composition. An outer layer of nickel bonded to a copper core. No silver this time, no fanfare. But what no one expected was that the minting process would produce a tiny fraction of coins that stood apart. Sharper detail, deeper luster, and a color tone that aged in ways no other coins from that decade did. These rare survivors began to emerge decades later, showing mysterious green toning, a soft, natural oxidation pattern caused by environmental exposure, and the unique alloy balance from that Denver batch. And those green tones? They have now become the signature trait of one of the most sought-after 1980s Kennedy halves on the market. Look at this coin closely. Beneath the light, you will see a faint emerald hue spreading across the surface, a green spot that almost glows when the coin is tilted just right. That's not damage, it's history etched in color. The D mint mark just below Kennedy's neck confirms its Denver origin. The strike detail is surprisingly crisp. The hairlines, the lettering, the curve of Kennedy's jaw, all unusually bold for the 1985 issue. And then there's that beautiful look that numismatists can't resist. A perfect balance between aging and preservation. You can tell this coin has lived, it's circulated, and it's traveled yet, and it stands today looking almost proud as if it knew its destiny was far beyond spare change. Here's where it gets truly thrilling. Among the millions minted that year, only a minuscule number show the specific toning, condition, and crisp detail found on coins like this one. The rest, either worn, dull, or destroyed through handling and time. Collectors are now calling the 1985 with D one of the sleeping giants of modern U.S. Coinage. Coins that were overlooked for decades, but are now skyrocketing in demand as new generations of collectors enter the market. Why? Because rarity doesn't always come from the 1800s or silver era coins. Sometimes it is hidden in the everyday coins of our own lifetime, and when the market wakes up to that reality, prices explode overnight. And this coin, it is already igniting that fire. Now, let's talk numbers, the part that makes your heart race. This 1985 Kennedy half dollar, with that distinct D mint mark, subtle green spot, and fine condition, is currently valued at around $93,000 in today's booming rare coin market. Yes, you heard that right. $93,000. It's the kind of value that turns disbelief into obsession. Collectors across the United States are now paying record-breaking prices for verified examples. Every sale pushes the ceiling higher, and experts say we're still just at the beginning. The market value of this coin is climbing day by day, a clear sign that the modern half-dollar era is finally being recognized for its hidden treasures. Don't take this as hype or wishful thinking. This is real. This is the kind of discovery that makes ordinary people overnight owners of national treasures. A coin like this doesn't just belong in a collection, it defines it. If you ever come across a 1985 Kennedy half dollar, stop and look closer. Check for that D mint mark, crisp, slightly bold. Examine the coin's tone. If you see natural greenish hues or subtle rainbow like patina forming around the edges, you may be looking at something extraordinary. The story of 1985 with D. Kennedy half dollar is proof that rarity doesn't always wear a crown of silver. Sometimes it hides behind subtle beauty, a tone, a mark, a quiet imperfection that the world overlooks until it is too late. Every coin tells a story, and this one tells the tale of the 1980s America. A coin that was supposed to be ordinary but ended up extraordinary. A coin that carries with it the heartbeat of a generation and the promise of wealth for those who recognize its worth before the world does. So keep looking. Check your drawers, your jars, your old collections, because your next discovery might just be another treasure like this one. And remember, we're just getting started. This was only coin number 3, and the next ones will leave you speechless. Coin number 4. Now get ready, because coin number 4 will send shivers down your spine. It's one of those coins that looks so ordinary, you'd almost toss it back into your change jar. But hidden beneath its silver-toned skin lies a mystery that's left even the most seasoned collectors speechless. This is the 1974 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark, carrying a soft gray dot, a mesmerizing silver shade, and a story that has haunted numismatic history for decades. It's not just a coin, it's a phantom, a relic that slipped through the cracks of time and now commands the kind of value that could make your heart stop. The year was 1974. America was changing fast. The Vietnam War was ending. Nixon's resignation was shaking the nation, and the mint was under immense pressure to modernize its production. By this time, silver had already been removed from most circulating coins. The Kennedy half dollar, once a symbol of pride minted with 90% silver in 1964, had been reduced to a copper nickel-clad composition, silver in appearance, but not in substance. Yet, in the chaos of mass production, a small number of coins emerged that looked different. They shimmered faintly like silver, darker in tone, with a unique reflective quality. These coins carried no mint mark, just Kennedy's proud profile gleaming in a subtle gray-silver sheen. The reason? Theories abound. Some say it was an experimental dye test. Others claim a minting anomaly from Philadelphia's press machines. But one thing is certain. The 1974 no-mint half dollar with that silver shade was never meant to exist in circulation, and yet somehow it did. Hold this coin under light and you will see it. The faint gray dot, perfectly natural. Not a flaw, but a fingerprint of its journey through time. The silver shade gives it an aura unlike any other clad coin from the decade. The edges glint faintly with a dual tone, copper at the core, but wrapped in a silvery whisper that makes it appear like it doesn't belong to its own era. Collectors say these coins have a ghostly look, not fully silver, yet not fully base metal either. It's that haunting beauty, that quiet defiance of the ordinary, that makes the 1974 no-mint half dollar an obsession for those who know what they're looking at. The deeper you go into the world of Kennedy halves, the rarer this coin becomes. The Philadelphia Mint, which struck these no-mint mark versions, produced millions that year. But among those, only a tiny handful show this distinctive silver-gray surface and the signature gray dot marking. It's believed that only a limited run of planchets, blank coin discs, were accidentally coated or mixed from a different metal batch before striking. That one mistake, that single batch, gave birth to what collectors now call the Silver Phantom of 1974. And once these were discovered, the coin community went wild. Forums, auctions, and appraisal houses lit up with rumors of these strange, no-mint coins selling for eye-popping figures. Every time one appears, it's treated not as a collectible, but as a miracle. And now, the moment every collector waits for, the truth behind its current value. The 1974 Kennedy half dollar, without mint mark, with its mysterious gray dot, its silvery tone, and its very fine preserved condition, has recently been valued at an astonishing $99,000 in the collector's market. That's right, nearly $100,000 for a coin most people would mistake for pocket change. This isn't a myth. This isn't rumor. This is the real, documented power of rarity and beauty combined. The market for this coin is skyrocketing, with values climbing every quarter. Every new discovery adds fuel to the fire, and every collector wants a piece of that magic before it disappears forever. You don't just own a coin like this. You hold a national treasure in your palm, a piece of 1970s America that refuses to fade and instead grows stronger, rarer, and more legendary with every passing year. Don't take this lightly. This coin's value is increasing day by day, and those who understand its importance are locking them away like they would a crown jewel. So, what should you do if you think you've found one of these extraordinary 1974 no-mint Kennedy halves? First, don't clean it, don't polish it, and don't try to improve its appearance. That gray tone and subtle dot are the very marks that authenticate its legacy. Check for that silver-like luster if it shines differently from modern halves and carries that mysterious depth you could be staring at something historic. And remember, the 1974 half is one of those few coins where condition and uniqueness amplify its value together. Every year, its demand grows stronger as the remaining examples get locked into private collections. The story of the 1974 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark reminds us that even in a modern world of mass production, miracles still happen. A slight variation, a forgotten detail, a glint of silver where there shouldn't be, and suddenly, an ordinary coin becomes a legend. This coin stands as a bridge between eras, between silver and base metal, between history and mystery. It's living proof that America's coinage still hides secrets waiting to be discovered by sharp eyes and curious hearts. So keep searching, because your next handful of change might just hold another treasure like this one, a $99,000 masterpiece disguised as 50 cents. And remember, we're only halfway through our countdown. What's coming next will leave you speechless. Coin number 5. This is the 1967 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark, carrying mysterious red and brown spots that look like fire frozen in metal. And behind that flame-tinted surface lies a story of confusion, courage, and transformation. A coin born in one of the most dramatic chapters of U.S. minting history. This isn't simply a piece of metal. It's a survivor, a relic of a time when the United States changed the way it made money forever. The year was 1967, a nation caught between nostalgia and innovation. Silver was vanishing from American coins. People were hoarding every older silver piece they could find, while the mint raced to keep coins in circulation. To fight panic and shortages, officials decided to remove mint marks altogether. For 2 years, 1965 through 1967, every Kennedy half dollar was struck without a mint mark. No P, no D, no S. Just a blank mystery. And that's where the legend began. These half dollars were composed of 40% silver, layered over a copper core, the last generation to hold genuine silver before the modern base metal era took over. But deep inside the 1967 production lines, a handful of planchets were struck under slightly different temperature and pressure conditions, leaving subtle surface tones that decades later would appear as burnished red-brown hues like molten copper sealed beneath a silver sky. Each one a fingerprint of the year America's coinage system transformed forever. Look closely at this coin. The red and brown spots shimmer like embers trapped inside metal. Under bright light, those spots glow not as flaws, but as living colors of oxidation, proof of its silver-copper bond reacting over nearly 60 years. The absence of a mint mark makes it even more mysterious. There's no clue which facility birthed it. Some experts say Philadelphia. Others whisper that a small test batch from Denver may have slipped through before official marking rules returned. The surface, though circulated, carries a beautiful smoothness, a fine condition that lets the design breathe. Kennedy's portrait still stands bold, his hair sharply defined, the motto, "In God We Trust," crisp and proud. It's aged but gracefully. Like time itself polished it instead of wearing it down. Among all 1967 halves, only a tiny fraction show this warm red-brown toning pattern. Most are dull gray, stripped of life. But these few, the fiery ones, have become symbols of rarity among serious collectors. For years they went unnoticed, mistaken for toned coins from ordinary storage. But once graders began authenticating them and confirming their unique composition tone, the demand exploded. Today, this particular version, the 1967 no-mint Kennedy with natural red-brown toning and fine condition, is one of the most hunted post-silver era half dollars in existence. Collectors don't just want it, they chase it. Auctions see fierce bidding wars. Private collectors guard theirs like holy relics. Because every one of these coins represents the last flicker of America's silver coinage flame. And now comes the part that shakes even the calmest collector. This 1967 Kennedy half dollar without mint mark, showing those rare red-brown hues and preserved in fine condition, is currently valued at an astonishing $107,500 in today's market. That's right, over $100,000 for a single 50-cent coin. This isn't rumor, it's a reality that the numismatic world is living right now. The market value of this coin is climbing every single day, as investors and collectors realize how limited and historic this issue truly is. Each sale sets new records. Each discovery reignites the frenzy. Owning this coin isn't owning a collectible. It's owning a financial relic, a spark of America's minting revolution captured forever in metal. Don't doubt it. Don't take it as fiction. This is truth, a treasure disguised as change, a time capsule worth more than gold to those who understand its meaning. If you ever find a 1967 Kennedy half dollar, slow down and look. Check for that absence of a mint mark below Kennedy's neck. Examine the surface for warm red and brown toning, especially near the rim or across Kennedy's cheek and hair. That natural fire-colored oxidation is your clue that you are holding something extraordinary. Never clean it. Polishing erases decades of proof. Store it in a temperature-stable holder. And when you are sure it is genuine, submit it for professional grading. Once it comes back authenticated, the coin's market power multiplies instantly, and you'll know you possess one of the rarest survivors of America's silver farewell. The 1967 Kennedy half dollar, without a mint mark, isn't just a piece of currency, it's the story of an era closing and another beginning. Its red-brown tones aren't flaws. They're the final glow of silver's departure from everyday life in America. Every line, every shade, every mark tells the story of a nation adapting, evolving, yet still honoring the memory of its beloved president through this half-dollar tribute. It stands today not as an artifact of loss, but as a beacon of endurance. A coin that proves even in change, beauty survives, and sometimes that beauty becomes a fortune. So keep your eyes open. Check your old rolls, your drawers, your inherited collections, because treasures like this still hide in plain sight. And who knows? The next time you see that faint red-brown glow on a Kennedy half, you might be staring at $107,500. Treasure waiting to rewrite your story. And remember, this is just coin number 5. The ones that follow are even rarer, even more shocking. And their stories will leave you breathless. Coin number 6, a year that changed everything. A coin that shouldn't exist in this form. A mysterious creation born in chaos, fear, and revolution inside the United States. Mint itself. This is the 1965 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark, shining with red and gray fire, its surface whispering secrets of a time when America's coinage world turned upside down. And what if I told you that inside this seemingly ordinary coin lies one of the most expensive and ultra-rare half dollars ever to surface? A piece of silver history, now worth more than some people's life saving. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will change how you look at every Kennedy half dollar you've ever seen. The year was 1965, and America was in the middle of a crisis, not political, but metallic. Silver prices were soaring. People stopped spending coins, hoarding every silver piece like gold. The U.S. Mint was desperate. Change was coming fast. The Kennedy half dollar, just introduced in 1964 to honor the fallen president, was vanishing from circulation. Collectors grabbed them instantly, and within months, banks were empty. The mint made a daring decision that year, to change the metal composition of the half dollar and remove the mint marks completely. That's right. From 1965 through 1967, there were no mint marks anywhere. The idea was to prevent people from targeting certain mints for collecting. Every coin became anonymous, a ghost of origin, a mystery of history. The 1965 Kennedy half dollar was born out of this tension. It was struck with a 40% silver outer layer over a copper core, a compromise between value and practicality. And yet, in this great transformation, some coins were produced on early experimental planchets. The metal wasn't fully stabilized, leading to rare surface reactions that caused beautiful red and gray tones to appear decades later. That's what gives this coin, the red-spotted, gray-dotted 1965 Kennedy half, its hauntingly beautiful, otherworldly look. Hold one of these coins under bright light and you will see it. Those red spots, like ancient embers beneath the silver, tell the story of its long journey through time. The gray dot tones, soft and silvery, give it a dual personality, half fire, half moonlight. No mint mark sits below Kennedy's neck. That blank space, it is intentional. Its history's silence, a deliberate erasure by the U.S., mint to conceal production identity and calm public chaos. Each authentic 1965 no mint coin in fine condition shows a bold Kennedy portrait with sharp details, his hair still crisp, his eyes determined, his message eternal. Around him, the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" remain proud and undiminished, a sign of the mint's precision even during national panic. But this coin, with its naturally developed red oxidation and subtle gray shimmer, stands apart from the countless dull, lifeless examples. It's as if this one coin absorbed the soul of 1965, the fear, the transition, and the resilience of a changing nation. When collectors talk about the 1965 Kennedy half dollar, most think common. Millions were made. But they don't know about this one. Among the mountain of regular coins, a tiny fraction display this natural two-tone fire and ash coloration, a result of the unstable alloy reacting over decades. These pieces are vanishingly rare. Collectors across the United States now treat these variants as treasures, the physical proof of one of the most dramatic shifts in American coinage. They're not just half dollars. They're transition tokens, the bridge between silver and base metal, old America and new America. Every time one appears at auction, phones light up, bidders get aggressive, and prices surge beyond predictions. Because owning one isn't just about rarity, it's about owning the turning point of U.S. coin history itself. And here comes the part that shocks even veteran collectors. A genuine 1965 Kennedy half dollar, without mint mark, with natural red spots, gray dot tones, and preserved in fine condition now commands a current market value of $116,670. Yes, over $116,000 for a single 50-cent coin. That's not speculation. That's today's truth. The numismatic market has declared this coin a masterpiece of transition, a silver phoenix rising from an era of confusion. Its value is rising daily as new collectors enter the market and realize how few authentic examples exist. This coin isn't an accessory. It's a treasure of American heritage. If you own it, you're not just holding money, you're holding a chapter of history that refuses to die. And mark my words, in the years to come, this coin's value could double. Don't take that lightly. This is the kind of relic that turns ordinary collectors into legends overnight. If you're on the hunt for one of these elusive 1965 no-mint Kennedys, start by checking any half dollars you or your family have tucked away. Focus on coins with no mint mark, and look closely for any natural red spotting or soft gray tinting. These are key signs of the rare composition reaction. Avoid cleaning or polishing at all costs. You will destroy the very features that make it rare. Instead, store it in a protective capsule or mylar holder to prevent further oxidation. And once you think you have found one worth checking, send it for grading. A certified fine condition or better coin can multiply its market appeal instantly because authentication turns rumor into proven treasure. The 1965 Kennedy half dollar, without a mint mark, is more than just an old coin. It's a living symbol of change, courage, and continuity. It represents America at a crossroads, balancing the past's silver legacy with the future's modern demands. Those red and gray spots aren't random stains, they're time's fingerprints, nature's art on the surface of silver. Each one tells a story of transition, tension, and triumph. And now, decades later, what was once just 50 cents has become a six-figure masterpiece, a relic that whispers, "I survived history, and now I reward those who notice me." So keep searching. Look carefully. Because somewhere, sitting quietly in a forgotten roll or family jar, another of these fiery gray legends might be waiting, ready to turn an ordinary day into a moment of discovery worth $116,670 and climbing. This was coin number 6, but the journey doesn't stop here. The next ones on our list are even rarer, even more shocking, and each holds a secret that could change your entire understanding of U.S. Coinage. Coin 7. This isn't just another Kennedy half from your change jar. This is the 1994 Kennedy half dollar with the P mint mark, carrying mysterious brown dots that shimmer like time's fingerprints. And though it's circulated, though it's been through hands, banks, and pockets, its story has become one of the most unbelievable modern coin revelations in the United States. History. So how can a 1994 half dollar, a coin from just a few decades ago, be worth more than $68,000 today? Let's go deep into its past, its mystery, and the reason this unassuming coin turned into a modern treasure. The year was 1994, a time of optimism and transition in America. Billboards glowed with new technology, the economy was growing, and the U.S. Mint was perfecting the production of its circulating coinage. The Kennedy half dollar, introduced 30 years earlier in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy, had already become a symbol of patriotism and pride. But by 1994, the mint faced a problem. Fewer people were using half dollars. They were producing millions, yet few ever reached circulation. Most sat in vaults, sealed in bags, forgotten. And that's where our story begins. The Philadelphia Mint, marked by its proud P under Kennedy's neck, struck millions of coins that year, but only a tiny handful would leave the mint floor with an unusual surface reaction. These rare coins developed brown dots, natural oxidation spots formed during a brief experimental batch where planchets were stored under higher humidity before striking. Those tiny dots, faint but distinct, became the silent signature of a hidden rarity. Under the light, this coin glows differently. The brown dots, gentle and scattered, add depth and warmth to its surface, a subtle reminder that not all perfection comes from polish. Its circulated condition gives it character, a proof that this coin lived. It passed through time, through people, through generations, yet somehow survived intact, carrying those rare oxidized markings that tell its unique story. The P mint mark, clear beneath Kennedy's neck, connects it to the heart of America's coinage, the Philadelphia Mint, a place where modern craftsmanship meets legacy. On the reverse, the proud American eagle still spreads its wings with strength. Even after years of circulation, the details hold strong. That durability, that resilience, is why collectors are drawn to it. Its beauty forged by endurance. Now here's where things get fascinating. Most 1994 Kennedy half dollars are common, almost worthless in pocket change. But this specific variety, the P mint mark version with natural brown oxidation dots, is incredibly rare. Experts estimate that fewer than a few hundred have survived in collectible condition, and only a handful show the same distinctive patterning seen on this one. Grading companies have confirmed this variety's uniqueness, a chemical reaction not seen in other years, making it one of the rarest post-1980 Kennedy halves ever documented. Collectors from across the United States are chasing it. Why? Because it represents a mystery, a modern coin that shouldn't exist this way, yet does. A tangible piece of minting history that slipped through the cracks and into circulation, hiding for years until someone looked closely enough to realize its secret. And now the reveal that stuns everyone who hears it. This 1994 Kennedy half dollar with the P mint mark, beautiful brown dot patterns, and circulated, yet preserved fine condition currently commands a market value of $68,500. Yes, $68,500. Not for a century-old coin, not for a mint error from the 1800s, but for a modern Kennedy half from 1994. Its value has been climbing steadily, year after year, as more collectors realize how few exist. This isn't fantasy, it's the truth that numismatists around the world are watching unfold in real time. Owning that one of these coins isn't like owning spare change. It's like discovering buried treasure in plain sight. And remember this, the market for rare Kennedy halves is booming. Their demand is skyrocketing as new generations enter the hobby. The 1994 P half is no longer just a collectible, it's a status symbol. A living piece of American minting mystery that continues to grow in value every single day. If you're a coin hunter, a collector, or even someone who just loves the thrill of discovery, take this advice. Go through your change jars. Search those old rolls of half dollars. When you find a 1994 Kennedy half dollar, check for that P mint mark, and then look carefully under good light for those subtle brown oxidation dots. If you see them, you may be staring at something incredible. Handle it gently. Never clean it. Cleaning erases its natural surface chemistry, the very proof of its rarity. Store it in a soft holder or a professional grade capsule. And if it looks genuine, get it graded immediately. Once it is authenticated, its value does not just stay, it explodes. Collectors are watching for these. Every month, the market grows tighter. And once these few surviving examples are locked in private collections, their value could double or even triple over time. The 1994 Kennedy half dollar with P mint mark reminds us that treasures aren't always ancient or hidden in the ground. Sometimes they are modern, waiting in circulation, disguised as the ordinary, until the right eyes recognize them. Those brown dots aren't imperfections. They're symbols of time, proof of authenticity, and whispers of a minting mystery that the U.S. Mint never fully explained. Each one tells the story of a coin that endured through hands, through years, through history, and emerged as a modern marvel worth $68,500. This is what makes collecting so powerful, the idea that any coin, even one from 1994, could hold the power to change your life. So keep looking, keep believing. Because the next time you see a Kennedy half with a P mint mark and those faint brown tones, you might be holding a rare treasure that history tried to forget, but destiny refused to hide. And don't forget, here at Rare US Coin Secrets, Valuable US. And don't forget, here at Rare US Coin Secrets, we bring you fresh updates every single day, straight from the world of rare and valuable US coins. Your next discovery could be the one that makes headlines, and maybe, just maybe, turns your ordinary pocket change into extraordinary fortune. Stay tuned because coin number 8 is coming next, and it's going to leave you speechless. Coin number 8, a coin that glows with mystery, a green shimmer that no one expected on a coin from a year the mint swore was ordinary. This is the 1977 Kennedy half dollar without a mint mark, showing a faint but breathtaking green spot on its reverse side, a detail so rare, so unexplained, that it's left collectors speechless for decades. And if I told you that this one coin hiding quietly among millions could be worth $78,000, would you believe it? Stay with me because what you're about to hear isn't just a story about silver and copper. It's a story about mystery, transformation, and a treasure that refuses to stay hidden. The year was 1977. America was shifting, disco lights flickered, new technology was on the horizon in the United States. Mint was perfecting its modern production standards after years of transition from silver to base metal coinage. But something subtle, something strange happened that year. The Kennedy half dollar, still beloved but no longer widely used, continued to be minted in both Denver and Philadelphia. However, a limited run of planchets, believed to be struck in Philadelphia, appeared without a visible mint mark, just a blank space where that tiny letter should have been. No P, no D, just silence. And within that silent batch, a handful of coins emerged decades later, carrying an unexplainable mark, a small green hue on the reverse, near the eagle's wings or beneath the shield. Collectors who found them thought it was damage until experts discovered that this tone wasn't corrosion. It was metal chemistry, a natural patina formed under very specific environmental conditions inside the mint vault itself. That's when everything changed. The 1977 no-mint half dollar wasn't just an error. It was an accident of beauty, a coin that the mint never intended and chemistry never repeated. Look closely at this coin under bright light. The green spot on the reverse isn't random. It's soft, metallic, almost emerald-like in its hue. It shimmers gently against the silver surface, creating a hypnotic contrast that makes this coin instantly stand out from any ordinary Kennedy half. Its lack of a mint mark beneath Kennedy's neck turns the obverse into a mystery. There's no clue of origin, no city, no identity. It's a ghost coin, minted by America but claimed by no one. Despite being circulated, its design remains strong. Kennedy's profile proud and untouched by time, the inscription sharp, the luster still visible. It carries that rare beauty, aged but dignified, touched by history yet still shining with quiet power. Among all the millions of 1977 half dollars, only a handful display this strange green patina and missing mint mark combination. Numismatic experts call them the emerald variants, and their discovery rewrote what collectors thought they knew about post-silver Kennedy halves. Collectors fight for them, dealers whisper about them, and each verified example pushes demand and prices even higher. Why? Because this coin bridges two worlds, the mass-produced modern half and the mysterious, unrepeatable minting anomalies of America's golden coinage era. It's proof that even in 1977, when precision ruled, perfection still left room for miracles. And now, here comes the shock that keeps collectors awake at night. A verified 1977 Kennedy half dollar without mint mark, showing its natural green toning on the back, and preserved in fine condition, now commands a current market value of $78,000. $78,000. For a coin you might overlook in a handful of change. Its price has risen year after year, and experts believe it hasn't even reached its peak yet. The demand for these mysterious pieces continues to climb as investors and collectors alike recognize that this is more than a coin, it's a time-locked treasure. It's not fiction. It's not hype. This coin's story is real. Its market value is growing daily, and every discovery of another example only confirms what experts already know. This piece is an American numismatic miracle. If you're a collector or a treasure hunter at heart, listen carefully. Start checking any 1977 Kennedy halves you come across. Look below Kennedy's neck. If there is no mint mark, pause. Flip it over and examine the reverse closely under white light. Do you see a faint green spot or hue, maybe near the eagle's wings or the lettering? If yes, you might just have one of the ultra-rare emerald variants in your hand. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. Those natural tones are the very proof of its rarity, the fingerprints of time itself. Protect it in a coin capsule and get it graded professionally. A certified fine condition piece like this can instantly turn from pocket change into real wealth. And remember, each year that passes makes these coins even rarer as more vanish into private collections. The 1977 Kennedy half dollar, without mint mark, with that mysterious green shimmer on its reverse, is living proof that even modern coins can hide ancient secrets. It's not the oldest, it's not the heaviest, but it's one of the most unbelievably rare and beautiful accidents in the modern minting world. That green tone isn't corrosion, it's art. Nature and metal working together to create something the mint never planned. But collectors will never forget. And as the years pass, this coin's value continues to rise, like an emerald buried in silver, glowing brighter, worth more, and treasured by anyone lucky enough to find it. So keep searching. Look at your 1977 halves with fresh eyes. Because somewhere out there, one of these green glowing masterpieces might still be waiting, ready to turn an ordinary collector into the next big story in American coin history. And don't forget, Rare U.S. Coin Secrets brings you fresh updates every single day, revealing hidden treasures and newly discovered rarities that could be resting right in your hands. Coin number 8 just proved that even modern coins can hide ancient magic. But the next one will rewrite everything you thought you knew about American coinage. Stay tuned, because the treasure hunt isn't over yet. Coin number 9. A coin from the late 70s that was never supposed to shine like this. A coin that hides a shimmer. A silver shade so pure, it challenges everything experts thought they knew about the 1979 Kennedy half. This is the 1979 Kennedy half dollar without mint mark, a breathtaking relic that glows with a silvery brilliance unlike any of its kind. At first glance, it seems ordinary. But look closer and you will see a ghostly luster that feels almost out of place for its era. It's not just a coin, it's a survivor, a whisper from the past. A $70,000 piece of American mystery that has stunned collectors and rewritten minting history. So what makes this coin so powerful, so unbelievably valuable? Let's step inside the story. The year was 1979, a time of transition. America stood at the edge of a new decade. Industries modernized. In the U.S., mint was deep into its copper-nickel era, long after silver had vanished from everyday coins. By then, Kennedy half dollars were minted in massive numbers, yet mysteriously a few coins surfaced years later that looked different. They shimmered with a silver-like brilliance, their surfaces reflecting light as though they had been struck on planchets from an earlier forgotten batch. These coins bore no mint mark, an omission that instantly placed them among Philadelphia issues, but their metallic sheen didn't match any typical copper-nickel composition. Some experts believe these came from experimental planchets, possibly leftovers from earlier silver-clad trials or test strikes accidentally mixed into the 1979 batch. Others think it was an unrecorded minting anomaly, a moment when old and new collided, creating a coin that doesn't quite belong to either world. Whatever the truth, the 1979 no mint Mark half with that silver shade remains one of the most debated and most mesmerizing discoveries in modern numismatics. Hold one of these coins under white light. You will see it instantly. The silver shade gleams softly, almost liquid-like, flowing over Kennedy's portrait with a natural metallic glow that copper nickel coins simply don't possess. On the obverse, Kennedy's hairlines are sharp. The motto "In God We Trust" crisp and proud, yet the field shimmers as if dipped in moonlight. Flip it over and the eagle on the reverse almost seems alive. Wings reflecting silver brilliance, shield glistening with contrast. The lack of a mint mark gives this coin a strange anonymity, a ghostly silence. It's as if the mint tried to erase its signature and instead created one of the most hauntingly beautiful half-dollars in history. And that's why collectors call it the silver ghost. Why? Because the year 1979, no mint mark silver shade half, is proof that even in an era of mass production, true rarity can still emerge silently, unexpectedly, beautifully. When one of these coins surfaces, collectors don't just buy it, they chase it. Dealers compete. Auctions ignite. And the world's eyes turn toward this enigmatic piece of metal that somehow escaped uniformity. Demand has exploded over the last few years, especially among high-end collectors and private investors who see these coins not merely as collectibles, but as treasures. Small pieces of American art forged in mystery and sealed in history. And now, let's talk about the number that still stuns even seasoned experts. A verified 1979 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark, displaying its signature silver shade and preserved in very fine condition, now commands a current market value of $70,000. $70,000. That's not hype, that's history meeting rarity. This coin's value has climbed steadily, year after year, as more collectors awaken to its significance. And many believe it is only the beginning. The next wave of demand could easily push its worth into six figures. This is not just money, it's legacy. This is a coin that transforms ordinary change into a timeless fortune, a tangible piece of American mystery that keeps growing in value as the years go by. Its shine is not just silver, it's opportunity. If you're passionate about coin hunting, pay close attention to any 1979 Kennedy half-dollar that looks different. Under natural light, if it glows with that subtle silver brightness, brighter than normal copper nickel, check for the mint mark. If it is missing, your heart should skip a beat. Do not clean it. Do not buff it. Leave that natural glow untouched. It's the fingerprint of its rarity. The 1979 Kennedy half-dollar without mint mark, glowing in its silver shade, stands as one of the most hauntingly beautiful mysteries in American coinage. It's the kind of coin that whispers rather than shouts. It carries Kennedy's image, bold, determined, eternal, wrapped in a metallic aura that defies its time. Each one discovered is a reminder that treasure doesn't always glitter like gold. Sometimes it gleams quietly in silver, waiting for the right pair of eyes to see it for what it truly is. So keep searching. Look closer at every 1979 half that crosses your path. Because somewhere in the stacks of forgotten change, one of these silver ghosts might be waiting ready to change your story forever. And remember, Rare U.S. Coin Secrets brings you fresh daily discoveries, uncovering the rarest U.S. coins that continue to surprise even the experts. Coin number 10. At first glance, it's just another $1/2. But take a closer look and you will see something strange, something haunting. Tiny black dots, mysterious brown spots, spread across the surface like time itself left its fingerprints behind. And this isn't damage, it's history. Because this is no ordinary coin. This is the 1984 Kennedy half-dollar with the Philadelphia mint mark, P. And it's one of the most talked about modern rarities in U.S. coin history, a coin that carries scars from the minting floor itself, a coin that defied every expectation and became one of the most valuable Kennedy halves ever to circulate. And when you learn the truth behind it, and its incredible $67,500 market value, you'll understand why this single coin continues to electrify collectors and investors across America. The year was 1984, a time when America was pulsing with change. Music was loud, technology was booming, and the United States. Mint was pushing its machines harder than ever to meet demand. The Kennedy half dollar was still being struck, though fewer people used it in everyday transactions. Most sat forgotten in rolls, storage, and collector vaults. Their silver days long gone, their shine replaced by copper-nickel layers. Yet, somewhere deep within the Philadelphia Mint that year, something rare occurred. A small batch of planchets, the blank discs used for striking coins, was exposed to microchemical reactions before pressing. When they were struck with Kennedy's image, tiny black and brown spots formed naturally under the outer layer. The Mint called it an anomaly. Collectors called it a miracle. Because those spots weren't signs of damage, they were Mint birthmarks unique to each coin, impossible to replicate. And over time, they transformed a handful of 1984 Kennedy halves into one of the most elusive and mysterious modern rarities ever documented. Now imagine holding one in your hand. It glows with a deep metallic sheen, smooth, reflective, beautiful. And then your eyes catch the black dots and brown tones across its surface. They don't distract from the design. They enhance it almost like aged parchment, giving Kennedy's face a sense of depth and endurance. On the obverse, Kennedy's portrait radiates quiet strength, his hair details still visible. The motto, "In God We Trust," bold and proud. On the reverse, the great American eagle spreads its wings, surrounded by subtle tones that almost resemble antique bronze. No coin looks exactly the same. Every one of these spotted 1984 half dollars carries a unique pattern, a one-of-a-kind visual signature, making each coin a living fingerprint of history. That's what drives collectors crazy about this piece. It's rare, it's flawed in the most beautiful way, and no two are alike. The 1984 Kennedy half dollar with the P Mint mark, marked by natural black and brown spotting, has become a modern legend. Most were melted down, reprocessed, or simply lost, but the few survivors are now priceless. Collectors see them not just as mint errors, but as living, breathing symbols of time. Each one carries a unique pattern, a map of its own creation, and the kind of visual imperfection that transforms metal into story. Whenever one of these coins surfaces at auction, the excitement is electric. Collectors bid fiercely. Dealers call them the burnished beauties of 1984. And every time one sells, it sets a new standard for what a modern rare coin can be worth. And now let's talk about the value that turns this piece of history into pure treasure. A verified 1984 Kennedy half dollar with the P Mint mark, showing those natural black and brown mint spots in fine condition, today holds a current market value of $67,500. Yes, $67,500. It's not a rumor, not an exaggeration. It's a documented rising price for one of the most unexpected and mesmerizing coins of its time. And what's more, the value continues to grow. As more collectors seek this exact variant, demand pushes higher and availability shrinks. You're not just looking at a coin. You're looking at a modern American relic, a symbol of beauty born from imperfection, and a hidden treasure that could easily double in value in the coming years. If you're out there searching, pay close attention to any 1984 Kennedy half dollar with a P Mint mark. Hold it under bright light and watch the surface carefully. Do you see tiny black or brown dots across the portrait or the eagle on the reverse? If yes, don't ignore it. Don't clean it. Don't polish it. Those spots are not flaws, they're signatures. They prove authenticity. They prove age. And they make your coin a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Coins like these never go down in demand. They only rise. The 1984 Kennedy half dollar with the Philadelphia Mint mark and its haunting black and brown mint birthmarks is not just a coin, it's a survivor. A piece of history forged in the fire of chance, born with imperfections that time turned into beauty. Every mark tells a story. Every tone holds a secret. And together they make this coin one of the most enchanting modern rarities the United States Mint ever produced. Its value now at $67,500 is still climbing, and experts believe the best days for this treasure are yet to come. Because the collectors who hold them rarely let them go. So keep your eyes sharp and your heart open, because your next handful of change could be the moment you uncover something extraordinary. And remember, Rare U.S. Coin Secrets brings you brand new discoveries and real coin values every single day. The world of U.S. Coins is full of hidden fortunes, untold stories, and treasures that wait quietly in plain sight. Coin number 10 closes today's list, but the journey never ends. Stay tuned, because tomorrow's story might just change your life.